Unsyndicated presents Off the Air with Sean the Legion.
Oh my gosh, dude. I just got back from like a bike ride, right? My daughter and I went for a bike ride. We're moving her back to state tomorrow for her sophomore year. So like we were like, all right, let's kill two birds with one stone. We'll take one more long bike ride and we'll get to chat and blah 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 blah. It was freezing. Like free. And then I got home and I was like, well, duh, it's 62 degrees. 62 degrees in August doesn't feel like 62 degrees in October or April or even May. It was freezing, but that's pig in the air. Do you smell it?
Yeah.
That's pig in the air.
This weather is elite. This is the best weather. Give me 62 to 72 every day, and I'm in. I love this weather because I can wear jeans, I can wear a hoodie, I can wear shorts and a hoodie, I can wear whatever I want. And as a bigger guy, I want to wear as much as I can to cover up the bigness and the sweat. So I want it all. Give me this weather. I love it. It's the best.
And this is one thing, all jokes aside, and I think you and I have even talked about this before. It is always around this time where you get the tease, where you'll have a few days like this and you'll think, oh, okay. As Chris said, I smell me some Parmenders. I will be in line very early. If you want to know where to find me Saturday morning, you just mosey on over to Parmenders a few minutes before it closes and you'll see my sorry ass in line. That I can promise you. Before the boys come over and we watch some college football. That I can promise you. But Blake, honestly, this was a situation where I sat there today and you have to tell your brain. You have to tell your brain. Fall's not here yet. Like we're getting a taste of it, but and this time I wasn't an old man and looked ahead. That warmer weather's coming. And sure enough, this weekend, getting back into the mid 80s and early next week talking about the high 80s. So there you go. You know how that works. Enjoy it while it lasts because it's not going to last long. That's just the way it is.
How long do I have until leaves start falling?
Oh, gosh, that's a long time. That's like, seriously, like almost 2 months.
But you know how it is. Once it happens, it's like Armageddon.
Yeah.
I have a giant tree right behind my house. And I swear, all the leaves, they don't go in my neighbor's yard. They just fall straight down right into my yard. I like, you haven't been to my house, but I don't have a big backyard. I had, I want to say 18 bags of leaves last year.
No kidding.
It was insane. And then I got to clean the gutters because I don't have gutter guards. I need to invest in gutter guards. So I'm going to work on that, hopefully. But
you should do that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the worst. Matt said going to Vancouver on Thursday. Fall is there. High 70s, low in the 50s.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah. Dude, seriously. I mean, and Matt,
have you been to Vancouver?
Yes, it's 62 degrees right now. It's 62 degrees right now. I mean, we were freezing, and you don't think about it because, like, we hadn't been out for like a couple hours. I went to Portillo's, more on that in a second. We're riding the bike, and you start, there's this hill in my neighborhood. We're flying down the hill. You're freezing. And then when I got home, I looked at it's 62 degrees. No wonder.
Well, were we going shorts or were we going pants on the bike ride?
We were in shorts. Yeah, we were in shorts.
That was maybe poor planning by you.
Oh, 105 in Austin. Oh,
yeah, no. Nope.
Oh. Nope. Eric said supposed to start getting warm. Yeah. Like as you get older, you get infatuated with the weather, which was surprised. I didn't know a few days ahead. Tomorrow's 73, which is great because we're moving my daughter in to her hall at State tomorrow, and it was 10,000 degrees last year. It was miserable. So only 73, 77, 79, 84. That's the day college football. 85, 87, 89, 88.
Do you see who's in the chat?
Go away. Who? Boy,
Our
look at
friend.
these.
Our friend Dave Rieger.
I was watching something the other day that made me think about him because somebody said something about atonement. And I was like, I can't wait until Dave asks me, like, if I'll forgive him, because this year the answer is going to be no. So don't even ask me, Dave. With as mean as you've been to me in the last year, there is no way I am going to forgive you.
Dave has been very nice.
What the hell?
Dave loaned us his Roadcaster like 3 separate times.
That's true.
For remote
Okay.
broadcast.
I take that back, Dave.
Yeah. Dave's
that
been
back.
very good to us.
Yeah,
so
he was.
Let's just remember that.
Can I? How long is the Portillo's in your neck of the woods been there? Has it been there for a while?
Yeah, the one on Hall was the first one to open in the state. So I think it was just after COVID. So I want to say over 2 years now.
The one I don't even know when it opened. I know it was recently. There's a Portillo's that opened in Livonia. And the other side of Livonia, you know, the streets are mean. We know that, all right. But I haven't been to the 96 and Middle Belt side in just forever. I mean, it's completely different. I'll tell you what, like, we'll get to the food in a second. Dude, they are as efficient as like Chick-fil-A is. Chick-fil-A is just a well-oiled machine. It's going to take you a long time, but it's a well-oiled machine. That Portillo's is efficient. And if you guys haven't had Portillo's yet, it's awesome. There's no other way to say it. It really is. That Italian beef. And I'm sorry, I like the Chicago dog and the Chicago Polish sausage. It's not a coney. I'll still take a coney any day of the week. But you know, I know a lot of people, oh, Chicago dogs suck. No, they don't suck. They're just not as good as conies. But I'll tell you what, those roast beef sandwiches, oh my gosh, dude, so damn good. So damn good.
Great fries. I know you're just focused on all of the meats, but great fries too. Proper amount of salt on the fries.
You were telling me about you were telling me about the chocolate cake, and my daughter got a piece and she was going nuts about it. And like I'm not a sweets guy. Like really, I'm not a sweets guy. And I had a bite of that chocolate cake. My daughter's like, Dad, you got to try this. That is solid. I don't know if they put crack in there or some of Walter White's meth. I don't know what it is.
You know what the secret ingredient is, though?
What's
actually, mayo.
What? Shut up.
There's mayo in it.
What are you talking?
It keeps it moist. That's 100% a fact. There's mayonnaise in there.
In the cake.
In the cake, there's mayonnaise.
Can somebody fact check that? Somebody's got to fact check that. Come on,
look it up right now.
Somebody's got to fact check.
Why would I lie about that?
I was going to say something, but I'm just going to shut my mouth. I'm going to just shut my mouth. All right? I'm just going to shut my mouth. Yeah, somebody fact check that.
Yeah. No, I'm literally looking at it right now.
Okay, I mean, what do you want me to do?
Yes,
what do you want me to do?
It has mayo.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, Todd put it up there. Oh my gosh, wow. Dave said that Magic Day is in Chicago, that Magic Day is in October this year. A text will be coming your way. I will.
Yes.
I will
better be nice to our friend
I will
David.
atone him. I'll atone him.
Can we pre-atone, David? Is that allowed?
Ray said Coney or Dodger dog. I'll still take a Coney. Like, I love Conies. I'll take Coney over anything, like a Detroit style Coney. But Dodger dog, that's another thing. Everybody told me. I mean, I thought to myself, what a hot dog. I mean, I'm never going to disrespect a dog at the park. But man, those Dodger dogs were good. I don't know what it was about them. Those Dodger dogs were good.
Am I like not a Detroiter because I don't like Conies? I love pissing you off so much. I don't like mustard or onions. Okay?
How?
I love how this.
How?
What? I'm not allowed to just not like things?
That
Is
is
that where we're
literally. I'm
at?
not. That is literally one of my favorite things. I think you know that. I can
No,
just
and
destroy those
I
things.
love and respect that you love and love
All
them,
right,
but
Rieger blew it. He's not being atoned.
no,
He's
no,
not.
no. That's why I was trying to get a pre-atonement because I didn't want this.
All right, look. Forget what I said. Coney suck. I'm with Blake. What are you talking about? My gosh. Holy
didn't-
crap.
I didn't. I don't.
Blake
Chris,
eats chicken strips and ketchup.
I don't eat ketchup either.
But you know what he does? He doesn't like wings. He likes the boneless chicken. He thinks that's wings. Gosh, how do you not like conies, man?
I don't like mustard or onions.
So would you eat it without the mustard and the onion? Would you eat it with like just the chili
Just
sauce
chili, yeah,
and the natural casing and everything?
yeah, sure,
Do you like poutine?
yes,
You've had real poutine.
yes.
Okay.
In Canada, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, I'm with you. Eric said, "What the hell?" Geez, oh Pete. You know my buddy Ted. Did you ever meet Ted? Ted was probably over one time. I don't remember. His parents owned a Coney Island. This was one of my great eating exploits back in the day because like I was a $1.88 and I could just eat like 3 men. And I ate 15 conies in one setting. 15.
How? I have so many things I want to ask that
It
are
hurt.
very inappropriate.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like like an hour later it hurt. I mean, I'm not joking. It hurt. That was
Yeah.
just like
Did your legs fall asleep later too?
no,
When you're
that
on the
didn't
toilet?
happen. No, I was like, oh my gosh, you know the whole rock in your tummy thing. You know, it just sat there. I've done a few of those things. I've done. Mike and I went to. They had that cheeseburger place, and there was like a. I forget what it was, like a 5-pound burger and fry that you had to eat in like a half hour, and we destroyed it. So they put our names up on the wall. I did it at 2 different steakhouses. The one in Montreal, the French cook said to me, "You are inhuman." That just because I ate like this giant steak and this like baked potato that was like that, and the cook has to come out and judge it. True story. And he came out and like he looked at it and he looked at me and he goes, "How much was the time?" And they were like 36 minutes. And he goes, "You are inhuman." And my friends are going, "Yeah." I was like,
What's
dude,
that?
I've always been like that. I don't know.
What's that place by Birch Run that like it?
Tony's.
Yeah, the
Tony's bacon
bacon.
sandwich defeated me.
Really?
Yeah, it defeated me. It did.
Wow.
I'll tell you why it defeated me. If you gave me crispy bacon, I will defeat you and then I'll scoff at you. Okay.
Okay.
The problem is I think they so hastily prepare those things. A lot of the bacon isn't really cooked well. And if you give me the floppy bacon, it's revolting to me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You give me a crispy bacon sandwich. Did you see Matt out of nowhere?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
just from the clouds.
That's awesome. Blake doesn't like conies because Tony doesn't. That's awesome. That's awesome, Jason. Chuck said, "Dude, it's a pound. 5-pound burgers result in green apple splatters. Georgia Tech line down to 10.5.
More on that.
Did you now? I want to get to that in just a second. Okay. Did you officially call Georgia Tech to win? Or are you playing they could win outright? Was that you I was talking to? Okay. Somebody I was talking to was toying around with the idea that Georgia Tech would win.
I'm concerned you're talking to other men about lines and I'm not involved. The hell is this?
Speaking of which, it's finally, hey Chuck, how are you? It's finally happening. Blake and Mike are finally doing their Degenerate Gambler show. When is this happening, Blake?
Friday, I believe. I was just texting Mike, but my brain is not fully functional. 8:30 Friday.
You and me both.
Off the board.
I love it.
You can find it on all the places where you find this dumb show, and we're just going to be talking. The plan is we're gonna talk. Okay.
Matt's just coming off the top rope.
What the hell, man?
Unrelentingly, it's freaking great.
We're gonna do win totals for college football and NFL, and then week 0 picks.
I love it.
And the plan is it will be every Friday.
Kirk, they need to use the jar.
No,
I am no
it's gonna
seriously.
be unhinged.
I'm really Ryan Day likes Coney's. You know, Blake, honestly, people are going to start worrying about you, because I was worried about you until I saw you put on a show at my house before. But there was like one time where like you came over and I had a bunch of sausages left over and you didn't want any because you told me you didn't like sausage. And I was like, was it sausage or what was the one thing that you said you didn't like? And I was like, how do you not like that? Do you remember when you came over?
If it was something with if it was a sausage with like the cheese in it,
that was it. Because I know I was going to give you a jalapeno cheddar, and you were like, "Oh, dude, sorry, I don't like the sausages with cheese in it." And I was like,
"Yeah, I don't like." But then the last time I was over, I had one of those. Because like in my brain, my dumb brain, it's the ones that are like, I'm not even focused on the chat right now. I can't right now. I'm just kidding.
Matt is just dropping the people's elbow after the people's elbow on you. It's fucking great.
You know the ones you get from Kroger that like it's not like blended in.
Yeah.
I don't like those at all, but the ones you get, it's like blended in, so it's very good.
Oh, I think there's a difference.
Yeah.
My 6-year-old likes chicken nuggets too, Blake.
Thanks, man.
Eric said, "What's the best to bet on sports?"
Like what app or what?
Are you talking about what sport? Are you talking about app? What are you? Back in the day, when you find out, Blake, I told you I used to gamble a lot. Like Mike knew me when I was a gambler. That's many, many years ago. And I think I told the story as to why I stopped. I had a happy ending. Probably wasn't the term that I wanted to use.
Nice.
But I got out with a happy ending. A lot of guys get out, on the wrong side. I got out because I got stiffed. And I was like, this is stupid. And honestly, I just decided not to do it again. But I was I don't know how to explain it. And Blake, like your brain is like this. I've heard you say things, and that's why I laugh so hard. You just figure out, Eric, to try to answer your question, you figure out different tendencies.
Well,
I have no other way to say it. There's just things you keep an eye on. Like I remember there was one year the Golden State Warriors at home were absolute money. Every time Golden State was at home, I took them to cover the spread. And like that year, I forget what the number was. It was insane. They were like 39-2 against the spread at home. And you just see things like that. And I wish I could explain it. Even like for hockey things, like for me, watching like every Red Wing game or every Habs game, I don't know how to explain it. You just know. You more often than not, the night before a game, you're just like, oh, I know how this is going to play out. Even when they were like playing, crappy Quebec Nordique back in the day, I was just like, nah. Quebec at home, they haven't won in 5 games. Montreal's riding a 3-game win streak. This screams Quebec win. Like, it's just, I don't know, gambler brain. Is that the best way to say it, Blake?
Yeah. But he's asking what the best app is. And stop reading the chat. He's asking what the best app is, and the best app is whichever is willing to sponsor off the board. That's what app is the best. So I can't answer that right now.
Yeah, if you want to sponsor off the board, it's like seriously. And Broadwell, if you're watching, and no doubt there's somebody who's interested, and we'll get into it. Eric, you basically bet on the team who has Connor Stallions. They always beat the spread. Mumford is going to be covering the spread left and right. Ray said, I'm guessing Blake's mom never used the try this meal before you say you don't like it routine.
No.
All right, can I ask you this?
Oh,
Ah! Look how dumb it is.
oh no.
Did you ever do like an about face, good or bad on food? Did you ever like something that maybe you didn't like when you were a kid? I have one thing that I just did not like when I was a kid that I'm infatuated with, and I have been for about 30 years. And then I have another thing. I think I ate it too much and I just got sick of it, and I can't eat it anymore. Like, I'm not joking. Do you have anything like that?
Fish. It's like all fish. Legitimately. I would not eat fish when I was a child.
Really?
Yeah, because of the smell and everything. I'd never liked it. And now I genuinely like enjoy fish. I like walleye, I like salmon, all that stuff.
Lamb. Hated lamb.
Oh,
Hated lamb. Lamb is easily one of my favorite foods now.
lamb is the one meat that I'm like especially veal. I'm like, this was like I think about it.
You have
I
to
still eat it.
there is such a fine line between nailing a lamb and having a not good situation that is. And it's like, if you allow the lamb meat to get medium or more, you get that gamey taste. If you give a good medium rare, like we did a like 7.5 pound curry lamb shank, and dude, I'm telling you, it was one of the greatest things I've ever made, and I'm shocked we haven't done it again, because it was that good. It really was. And I love to do I love to do lamb, the smaller lamb shanks as it is. I absolutely love them. And then conversely, the opposite way, dude, I would eat bologna sandwiches, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The smell of bologna now, I don't want anything to do with it. Nothing to do with it.
That's how I
Nothing.
am with two things, hot pockets and mashed potatoes. I can't eat either of them. I threw them up one time when I was younger. I
Really?
can't touch them. Yeah. So I'm getting just absolutely lambasted.
Well, you know what? Rieger's trying to make things even with you. He's hammering me right now. No offense to
Dave.
my friend John, but that lamb dish sounds horrible.
David, has Sean ever steered you wrong
Grilled
with meats?
lamb to 100 seriously, to 140 degrees with some curry on there. Oh, you know what, Rieger? I'm going to make you some lamb the next time you come over. How's that?
You would just make sure it's kosher.
No, we had that conversation before. We did. We really did, because like when he came over, like I felt guilty. All jokes aside. Well, look at that. What's the score, by the way, Mike? Last I saw it was 1-0. When Rieger came over, he like, I felt guilty. I was like, all jokes aside, I was like, oh crap. You know, I made this big pork butt. And he was like, nah, dude, it's all good. Rieger, I'm actually making a small brisket this Saturday. Just a small one. I've learned I have a lot better success with the 5-pound brisket as opposed to the 20-pound brisket. So my strategy has been, and I know the coach was over and Hubie was over and Mike was over for one of the hockey nights. I think I did like a 4-pounder and a 5-pounder. It's just comes out so much better. And that's like my new. So I know, like, I always have brisket on Christmas Eve. I'm probably going to buy like 4 5-pound briskets as opposed to just buying the 20-pound brisket. Sean B. Lamb, GN. That's great. Yeah, 4 days till college football. Did we mention that?
That's crazy.
I know.
We're here.
I know.
Look at you with your new haircut.
I got sick of taking care of it. I did. I was going to let it grow for a long time. And then it was just like, when I woke up this morning, I looked at it. I was like, okay, enough. Now I remember.
Are you go to the same barber every time guy, or are you just whoever cuts my hair?
No, I've been pretty loyal. I've been pretty loyal for a long time. Yeah, I've been pretty loyal for a long time. So you?
Yeah, I see the same guy. I've been seeing him for like 5 years now.
You know, by the way, you know when it's going to get real for me, pal? when I'm up at state tomorrow, like when I'm dropping my daughter off and like where she lives now, I drive right by the stadium. Like before, like last year,
The woodshed. Yeah.
Last year I didn't go by the stadium. Now I go by the stadium to go to her hall. So like I know as soon as I see Spartan Stadium tomorrow, it's just I'm probably going to be at full mast. Like honestly, it just like
It's the pleats. It's the pleats.
right? Oh my gosh!
Yeah, right when you see the woodshed, you're just gonna be, it's gonna be great.
Have you ever been to a game there?
I'm trying to think. I don't think so.
It's a great spot.
No,
Great
yeah.
All jokes aside,
I've tailgated there. I know that. I don't think I've been to a game.
Yeah, great place for a game. It really is.
The woodshed. What an elite name.
Can we talk to you about Lindsey I'm not.
Don't touch it.
I'm not. It was stupid then and it's stupid now. Matt said, Matt, which one's the homecoming game this year? Is it Indiana? Because I know that's the one I'm going to. I didn't even see which one is the H. Let's talk about Lindsey Broadwell, by the way. Danielle, thank you. Dave, why are you bullying Sean? He's been very, very mean. When it's time to get yourself a new house, whether you're buying or selling, both, you need to contact the right agent. There she is, Lindsey Broadwell. Your house is probably the biggest investment you'll ever make, and that's why you need a pro. Lindsey grew up on the mean streets of Northville and has expanded her team all over Southeast Michigan. She's an expert in all facets of the business, and when it's time to move, our friend Lindsey and her team will make sure you get the most out of your house and everything goes smoothly when you're finding your new home. Buyer, seller, even first-time buyer, doesn't matter. Make sure you contact Lindsey at BroadwellHomes.com. She'll help you with everything from start to close. Licensed realtor at Real Broker LLC. Start your search today at BroadwellHomes.com. Okay, Iowa, thank you. Look at Blake's. Those AI pictures are so stupid, and I think that's what makes me love them. Because I know stupid, Blake. I know stupid very well. So, yeah. Do you like those AI pictures, Blake?
No, they're all mean towards me. Literally every single one of them. But Dave asked what MSU's win total is. It's 4.5.
I'm taking the over. I think you are too, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right, so
I think 5 wins is definitely possible.
Yeah, Iowa is the 19th. I'm going to be out of the country, so I wish I could see you there, but I'm going to be out of the country.
By the way, can I make Matt happy?
Yeah.
I've come to the conclusion that I think by the end of the season, Aiden Childs might be the best quarterback in the Big Ten. I genuinely believe that.
I won't argue.
I also think the Big Ten might be the worst quarterback league out of the Power Four.
It really is
So
bad.
bad.
It really is bad. Somebody has to present himself. The kid, when the kid at Minnesota that transferred to Rutgers is in the running for best quarterback in the conference, you got yourself a problem. Like honestly.
Yeah.
All right.
The Greek rifle.
Let's throw this out. Florida Atlantic, yes, they should win that, right? Mm-hmm. There's one for you, Rieger. At Maryland, I don't feel real comfortable about it. I'm not going to lie.
If it was later in the season, I would feel better about it if I was a State fan.
Prairie View, that's 2. You and I talked about BC before. I think that they will win at BC. So that could be 3. You're not beating Ohio State. You're not beating Oregon. You could beat Iowa. Boy, they let them off the hook last year. You're not beating Michigan. Indiana, you should win that game at home. Although, again, I was watching the Big Ten Network yesterday, and it got me all fired up for Hoosier football.
Yeah.
At Illinois, you can't just expect to go into Champaign and beat the Fighting Bielemas.
No. They're going to run the hell out of the ball this year.
Purdue at home and Rutgers at home. So there you go. All right, you know what? I'm going to be nice to you. So what did you? I'm still sticking with 6.
I think that they're going to be a bowl team, but it's going to be close.
So
Like that Maryland game is really I like the over. I wouldn't bet it. There's so many unknowns. But like I said, I think Hayden Giles will be the best quarterback in the Big Ten.
ready? Fresno, that's 1. I'm sorry, I don't think you're beating Texas. Arkansas State, that's 2. USC is 3. Minnesota is 4. At Washington is 5. The Fighting Bielamas at the Fighting Bielamas. Boy, both of them have to go into those hallowed territory.
By the way, Michigan's number is 8.5.
6. Michigan State, 7.
Easy dub.
You'll lose at home to Oregon.
Probably.
The Fighting Hoosiers, you'll beat them. That's 8. Northwestern, 9. And then you'll lose to Ohio State.
Shut your mouth.
You're going to lose to Ohio State.
You can think whatever you want.
Well, look at Rieger just putting that amazing blue lube all over himself.
I don't
He's rubbing himself right now. Texas.
I just wanted to be clear that I disagree with David. I don't think Michigan is beating Texas. I think Texas has one of the top 5 old lines in the country. They're one of the few teams in the country that can block Michigan's D-line.
Michigan, the questions on offense are real, but their defense is good enough that I agree with what Nolan said. I think you hammer the over on both teams. I think you hammer over 4.5, and I would hammer the over 8.5 for Michigan. I would, but I'm not a gambler. Remember that. I'm not. But I think 9 is a safe bet for Michigan, and I'll say I think 6 is a safe bet for Michigan. Michigan State's schedule sucks. You heard me read it. It is. And I hope people hear me out. I'm not going slappy on Michigan State. Like, really, I'm not. Their schedule, look at their schedule. It's a joke. It's like when we were talking about the Penn State schedule. Does any human out there think that I am going to give James Franklin any kind of credit or applause? Like, Penn State could be an 11-win team because there's nobody on their schedule. It's not because of James Franklin. I can tell you that much. Holy crap.
I already know you're betting Ohio.
He will be running for his life.
Their old line's really good. Really good.
Eric said we own the Buckeyes.
That's true.
You do right now. You do right now.
Correct. Factually correct.
There's no question about it. You do right now.
Ohio State's win total is 10.5, so I know Sean's on the over.
All right, you know what? I'm going to look it up right now. Hold on.
They're going to lose to Oregon.
I don't know about that. I still think
Oregon
going to win. I still think Ohio State's going to win the conference. I do.
You don't just walk into Autzen and come out with a dub.
The mighty Akron Zips, Western, Marshall, at Sparty, Iowa at home, at Oregon, Nebraska at home, at Penn State, Purdue, at Northwestern, Fighting Hoosiers come in, and then Michigan at home. Would you say 10.5? Mm-hmm. I could see 10-2.
Yeah, lost to Michigan.
I could see 10-2. I could see 10-2. You got to remember, see, this is the one thing about Franklin. There's the Franklin every year. Might the Franklin be this year knocking off Ohio State at Crappy Valley? Now, you know that. Again, when you're talking about the Franklin, though, the Franklin giveth and the Franklin taketh away. One of those games on that schedule, Penn State is going to shockingly lose. That's the Franklin. If we're going to talk about the Franklin, okay, there's going to be a win where you go, damn, wow, Penn State, they put it together. And there's got to be a win where he lets it go in inexplicable ways. There has to be. There has to be. I'm still looking at their schedule. Gosh, it's just crap. West Virginia. That's at West Virginia, though. Hosting BG, hosting Kent State, hosting Illinois, hosting UCLA, at USC, at Madison, hosting Buckeyes, at Washington. at Purdue, at Minnesota, Maryland at home. Gosh, does their schedule suck? I like DeQuan Finn. Ray said, how do you see Toledo's quarterback Finn doing at Auburn? I like DeQuan Finn. I do. I think he could have some success there. I do. I think he could have some success there. Nolan said they could lose week 1 to West Virginia. Absolutely, they could. Backyard
or
brawl.
West Virginia could just go back to being bad too this year. We don't know.
Absolutely, they could.
But
absolutely,
that's one of the games I'm very excited to watch, just because the atmosphere is going to be awesome.
There's nothing like the James Franklin experience. I can't even imagine being a Nittany Lion fan. If losers like me sitting hundreds of miles from Penn State can see it, can you imagine what those poor Nittany Lion fans must be going through?
Yeah, but they close their eyes for everything.
Well, they are a little,
they don't.
You've got a point.
Come on. We see what's really going on in Penn State. The rest of the country does. They're just like, Joe Pa, keep going out there. It's
you
fine.
You got a point. Ray said UCLA will beat Penn State. They have speed. Again, you know what? The Franklin, I could see that happening. Yeah, I could see that happening.
Oh, Iowa's schedule, Chris, is a joke. And Iowa's win total, I think, is 8.5.
Did you see what Jimmy said, Blake? No way on God's green earth is Michigan going to beat Ohio State. If so, I'll send you a bridge pass for the Mackinac.
I heard that the last 3 years, Jimmy.
Oh, here we
I heard
go.
that the last 3 years, especially 3 years ago, the first time.
Well, I'm so glad.
No way.
I'm
10.5 point favorite.
I'm so glad that Michigan fans learn their lessons over the years. I'm so glad.
I've heard it the last 3 years.
All right. Let me talk to you about legacy partners, shall I?
Yes.
Great, guys. Did you know that thousands of Metro Detroiters have already called Legacy Partners, my family did, to get help with their home and auto insurance? Our friends at Legacy Partners are one of Southeast Michigan's top independent insurance agents. They provide a full-service, one-stop solution for all of your insurance needs, personal and business, large and small. Legacy has helped our listeners by fixing mistakes other agents have made, asking the right questions to get you the right coverage put in place to properly protect you. And yes, help save you some money. Isn't that what it's all about right now? Everybody's looking to save some money. Chances are, if you haven't checked your policies in the last year, you're probably paying too much and you could be underinsured. So what are you waiting for? Give my friends at Legacy Partners a chance to help with your home, your cars, life insurance, Medicare enrollment, business insurance needs. They got your back as they had my family's back. Give them a call. 586-209-4106. That's 586-209-4106. Or visit legacypartnersins.com to get started with your new quote. And I know my buddy Dave, Dave, you got all Michigan lathered up with him. I know he's all fired up for the season to start. I stand by it. 9-3. They could be a playoff team. A lot of it depends on who they lose to.
10-2, though, they're a playoff team.
100%.
Regardless. Okay.
I have a feeling they're going to be on 9-3 and on the outside looking in. I really do. And I think it's because the losses are to Ohio State, Oregon, and Texas. And I think Texas is going to be around that same range, that they'll finish around 9-3. And an SEC team going into Michigan beating Big Ten, that speaks louder. And I think Texas in, Michigan out. That's my guess. We'll wait and see. But I cannot stress this enough, Blake. I know we've said it 100 times. Let me make it 101. We don't know. We don't know how this is going to play out. We know how it's supposed to play out, okay? And one can sit back and say, well, 3 teams out of the SEC, 3 teams out of the Big Ten, maybe a couple out of the Big 12. Maybe a couple out of the ACC, get your independent, get your at-large, your Liberty, whatever the case may be. Well, then all of a sudden you're sitting there going, okay, 3. Oh, that's 12. So it's not as, I've heard some people, trust me, I've heard some people saying, oh, there could be 4 or 5 Big Ten teams getting in. No way. In dreams. It's not happening. No way. There just isn't enough numbers out there.
Well, Notre Dame inevitably falls apart, then there's a chance.
Matt said, in the eyes of many, Ohio State is perfect in every way. Not me. I you know what I find funny, though? How you guys just could not hand Ohio State credit all those years. It's kind of funny. Can we admit
I'm
it
not
now?
a part of that.
But can we, for the vast majority, anything that Ohio State did, and I know I can speak to Michigan State. Do you know how many times I heard lucky? It's kind of funny now. We can all say that. I mean, you're the champs, tip of the cap. I'm not going to become what I detest, but
their wide receivers this year are filthy.
Yeah.
Like disgusting.
They always get them, don't they? They always. Blake, are you mentally prepared when Michigan goes 7-5 and people just like me go see what?
Find me those 5 losses. Find them to me and send them to me with a check.
I can't see that.
5?
I can't see that.
If they have more than 3, I'll be very upset.
I can't.
Very upset. And Sharon Moore will be goodbye.
Does Billy Napier get whacked in season, or does he make things work? I think he will.
You think he's going to make things work?
Yes, I do.
Not with that schedule.
I really
not with
do.
that schedule.
We'll wait and see. Well, I do. I think he's going to make things work. Tim said, "Why do people pick OSU to beat Michigan every year?" Is that true?
They were favored 2 out of the last 3 years. One of those was the first year was at Michigan. They were 9.5-point favorites. And then at the shoe, I know they were favored. And then this past year, they were not.
I have had a long held theory that Vegas toys around with Michigan football spreads because they know how crazy people are about it. I've long believed that. And I have had people, Blake, I don't know if you've seen it, especially against Michigan State, their record against the spread is just awful against Michigan State. And people get mad at me when I bring it up. And I'm like, I didn't do anything. It wasn't me. I didn't do anything. I think that people do that, but I never got the impression people pick Ohio State every year. Did you? I never got that.
No, I mean, before the last 3 years, but it made sense.
Did I think they were going to win in 2021? I thought Ohio State was going into Columbus and we're going to beat them. In 2022, I'm trying to remember. I knew Michigan was going to beat them last year. I knew Michigan was going to beat them. 2022, I don't remember. I'd have to think of the circumstances.
22 was the year they made the playoff as well. They had a really good team that year.
Yeah, that was. I'm trying. Boy, I don't remember. I really.
That was Stroud's last year.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember what I thought. I thought Ohio State would beat them in 21. I knew Michigan would beat them last year. Tim, I got to disagree with you. Is somebody I've said this 100 times. I don't care. I'm not a fan of either. I don't care. So it's always been fun. And why?
I'm not a fan. You're a fan of Ryan Day.
No, I guess I am, because you know what it is? Ryan Day is a reminder to me of how delusional many people in the Michigan fan base is.
And the Ohio State fan base.
No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about a guy who, literally, his worst year is your Savior's best year before Connor Stallions. Come on.
We're not doing this again.
No, it's funny to me. It's like I said, I said it a few minutes ago and I'll say it again. It was kind of fun for a few years to see, what's the best way I can say it without being an ass?
Just be an ass. It's fine.
No, because not all of you have to wear that scarlet letter. A humbled fan base. And I think a lot of Michigan fans out there are probably saying, screw you, Belegian, but I agree with you. I think for a few years there, it was because unfortunately, there's a reason the quote, Michigan never loses, they're either cheated or run out of time, has been around for 40 years. And I think for a while, you didn't have any choice but to accept it. And then, you hammered things with Mark D'Antonio, and then you hammered things with Ryan Day. But the difference is you're beating Ryan Day, right? That's the difference. So to me, Like, now you can talk. You can talk now, but it's give the guy his flowers. He's doing his worst year's number 10 in the nation. Like, come on.
He's a good coach. I've never denied that.
Thank you.
Now, you just think he's Jesus can walk on water.
No, that's not true. Ryan Day, the guy that came in as a pinch runner on third and acted like he hit a triple. Oh, Coach Harbs. Coach Harbs. That's a. Well, according to you guys, Michigan is never down. So every coach that goes to Michigan starts halfway between third and home. Michigan isn't down. Do you know how many times I've heard that in the last 15 years?
I've seen Michigan down. I've seen it. That's right. Yeah. There he is. Look at that. Body like a bag
Sean,
of milk.
Michigan will never be a humble fan base. MSU could beat them 15 straight times, and we lost one, and they would say little bro is back. Oh, it's 100% true. I know that. That's, I like, honestly.
Well, it's not like MSU fans don't play into that at all.
I think to me, the little brother stuff was hysterical. Like, I think in that moment, that was great. Like, props to Mike Hart. I'm serious. That was awesome, right? The issue was to be repeating that the next few years was kind of embarrassing on you. Would you agree with me? It was kind of embarrassing. Like, first 2008, and then 2009, and then 2010, and then 2011. And then the curb stompings in 13 and 14. It was kind of like, are you really? Yeah. No, seriously, you're still playing little brother? Like, really?
I get what you're saying.
I don't know.
But I'm not even gonna get into it.
No, what?
MSU does fan, and I'm not saying the entire fan base. Mm-hmm. I want to be very clear about that. But there are some MSU fans that do play the little brother. Like, why does no one pay attention to us? Why aren't we more nationally relevant? Why aren't we this? Why aren't we like that? That gets played into it too.
I think I agree with you. I think in particular in 2011, I remember so many people were upset about the whole Sugar Bowl thing, and it didn't mean anything to me. As God is my witness, it didn't mean anything to me. And I said it then, and I would say it now to any Michigan fan that said, Spartan tears taste like sugar. And I would say,
if you're a Michigan fan and you said that, you're a loser too.
Well, I would say I'll take my season every day if it includes beating you.
Yeah.
So wait a second. I went to the Big Ten championship game, finished with a better record than you, and I beat you. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're right. That was a silly argument. I think the one that always cracks me up, and you and I were talking about this last year. I love everybody talks about 2015 and talks about lucky. And hey, Spartan fans, it was lucky. Can we can say that, right? Trouble with the snap was lucky. There were a couple other bounces that went their way that was lucky. Let's not forget they went into Columbus with a backup quarterback and beat Ohio State. That wasn't lucky. But yeah, you could do that. And it's always funny to me because it's like people, as good as Michigan has been the last few years, Blake, to go unbeaten and to beat everybody in the conference by double digits, like, come on. That 2013 curb stomped. I mean, that was a sick team. So I always kind of laughed at that when I would hear people do that. It doesn't bother you when you're on top. Just like if you're a Michigan fan right now, you could chirp all you want, man. I'm a national champion. I won the Big Ten. And all the people I predicted that tried to downplay the Big Ten championship, you know who you are. All the people that did that, I knew they'd be the people that put Facebook posts that said Big Ten champion and talked about Big Ten champions and stuff. I'm never going to downplay the champion. You know what I mean? Never. Mission three years running, man. Are you kidding me? Major props. That damn 2011 Big Ten title game, the best game I'll never watch again. No, never. Never. Do you go back and watch those games, Blake? Like if a tough loss? I can't sit back and watch it.
I
Crap.
can't even tell you how many times I've seen trouble with the snap. Like I swear, it's on.
You've watched?
Like,
Have you really gone back?
I
and
haven't watched the whole game. No,
No.
I would never.
No.
No, I go. How many times have I watched Michigan, Ohio State over the last 3 years? It's a lot.
Oh, sure.
It's a disgusting amount.
Oh, sure. Sure.
No, but like, you know how we've talked about this, the YouTube rabbit holes, and it's like best moments of college football the last 10 years. And I watch every single one of those videos, but every single one of them has that play in it.
See,
I can't hit fast forward fast enough.
There are a few, like the 2008 Michigan State game, like hits close to me. Even 2010 and 2000, but the 2013 one, because you know as well as I do, there are a lot, not all, that play the lucky or they ran out of time or they were cheated. When you get stomped in the ground like that, you can't say anything. And that was like, as a Spartan fan, that one made me pretty happy because you didn't even hear from those guys. There was no moment in that game where you could sit back and go, oh, the tide turned after that. I still say they broke Devin Gardner that afternoon. That poor kid, and he's a great guy, but they just broke him that afternoon. It was sad. Austin said State fans are annoying because they somehow, despite all the losing, they still can't swallow a loss as well. Michigan will win and some fat chick will yell, yeah, well, our field hockey team just made the Final Four and you guys won't win at all, or something stupid. You listen, I'm a firm believer. I don't care if it's Michigan. I don't care if there's a time to just shut your mouth. Right? I think when a team wins the conference, the question should stop right there. I really do. And maybe I'm putting too much into the conference champions, but based on all of your reaction the last few years, and trust me, I had more than a few people say, winning the Big Ten conference isn't that important. It just blows my mind. Yes, it is. Because back in the other way, there's a really good chance, really exception versus rule chance that you're going to get yourself a chance to play in the national championship picture.
Well, especially now.
Yeah. Oh, of course. So to me, Blake, like honestly, the tip of the cap starts there. But you win a playoff game, you win 2 playoff games, you win a national champion. Everybody, you know what you need to do? Like seriously, right now about Michigan, shut up. It's not going to happen with Connor Stallions. I mean, let's be honest, but like, you know me, dude, I just go like that. Like, there you go. I got nothing. Let me tell you, and I'll say it again, just for the record. I wish Michigan State had a Connor Stallions. I do.
He's an American hero.
I wish Michigan State had a Connor Stallions. I would take Urban Meyer and Connor Stallions any day. Does that mean Michigan State wins a national champion? Okay, cool. Come on. Right? Oh, yeah, and Michigan handles losses really well. John U. Bacon made up a book about it. Tim said MSU won't let it go that Michigan cheated to win the national title because MSU may never even things up. First solo one since 1952 in my lifetime. Tim, it's not going away. I hope you know that. It's not. There's no way it's going away. No way. Oh, it doesn't. I'm with you. I'm the same way.
It's not going anywhere.
Think about.
I don't even get annoyed with it from Michigan State fans because.
Well, and
I don't.
I think a lot of
Ohio
people.
State fans.
I think a lot of people giggle because the same guys that are saying stuff like that are the same guys that were calling out Florida and Alabama and Georgia. Well, they cheat. And it's college football today. It just is. They're the national champions. That's that. Eric said, will Michigan basketball be good? Serious question. I don't know the first thing about Michigan basketball right now. I got to be honest with you. Not the first thing.
I think they made a good hire. I like Dusty May.
Yeah. But I honestly, that's so off my radar right now. I've always said I am the guy that the college basketball elitist hates because, like, I joined the season in about mid-January. Hey guys, I'm here. How's the season been so far?
We had an electric bracket show.
Yeah,
Remember?
yeah.
That
Who
was a
can
great
forget?
time.
I don't know the first thing about it. I'm not even gonna lie. The whole Barrett didn't make it thing that is going to be 7 years old. Yeah, gosh damn, that's crap. That was 8. JT was short. That was 8 years ago now, right?
Yeah, he was. Can't change my mind.
Oh, you would have won the national championship that year, surely, right?
That's not the only thing that matters, Sean. You know.
Oh no, don't do that again. Don't do that. It matters to me. What's Connor Stallions doing? I'll read his manifesto and tell him how great it is if he comes to Michigan State. Please, please bring Urban with you. Hire Harbs.
He would never defect. He would
Harbs,
never.
Harbs and Herbs together. Oh my God.
Get Cheat Carroll in there too. Might as well, right?
Oh my gosh, wouldn't it be great? Hey, are you ready to take charge of your financial future? Look no further. Cheat Carroll. I've never heard that. That's really good, Blake.
Cheat Carroll and the Seattle Cheat Hawks.
Look no further than the Wealth Advantage Group located in historic downtown Northville, owned by the Hanson brothers, right there with over 20 years of industry experience. They understand that your financial goals are as unique as you are. That's why they offer personalized expert guidance to help you navigate the complexities of financial planning. Now, whether you're saving for retirement, getting ready to sell your company, already in retirement, they can help guide you through every step of your financial journey. They work with clients throughout all stages of life and have clients in over 20 different states. The investment world is a complex one. If you guys are ready to start taking your finances more seriously, I think it's time to work with the experts. Reach out to my friends at the Wealth Advantage Group at 248-773-8574 or visit their website at www.thewealthadv.com. I have said this for years, Blake, all jokes aside, and I am a Michigan State fan, okay? Mm-hmm. I've never hid it. I never will hide it. I'm a firm believer in I have a job to do and I have to be objective. And I hope that people that know me, I try my damnedest to be objective. But beyond being objective, I have to be honest with you. The one thing that I always said about Michigan, and this is probably why I hate them so much, because the honest to God truth is I envied them immensely, because my entire lifetime, even before I was born, like literally from 1969 to 2007, they were college football's prime and shining example of consistency. Really. Yeah. Now, I know they didn't get all the way to the top. 1997, of course, it should have been outright. But literally from 1969 to 2007, nobody. If you're telling me in that time, okay, and I'm going to use me as an example. I was born in 1970. So let's say I'm a Michigan fan. My whole life, my down year until I'm 37 years old is Michigan going 6-6 and losing to the number one team in the nation with a backup quarterback, mind you, in the Holiday Bowl. That's my down year. Like they were the model of consistency, and it should have been a full natty in 1997. We all know that, but honestly, and I think whether people want to admit it or not, there's probably a lot of jealousy involved in there. And I think I remember when, and you were young, but when people around the nation really started piling on Michigan, like during the Rich Rod era, when people really started piling on Michigan, I remember people would ask me, the same people that, of course, accused me of being Sparty Slappy just a couple of years before. People would ask me, they dude, come on, you're usually pretty fair. Why do you think people are doing this? And I'd always say the same thing. I'd say they're a model of consistency. You know, other teams have gone like this. You've seen Miami go like this. You saw Auburn go like that. You saw Clemson go like that under Danny Ford. You saw Bama did this. Michigan was always here, maybe there, maybe there, maybe there, but their area was that. And so I think that's why people had so much fun at Michigan's expense in that era. And it wasn't just the Buckeye fans, and it wasn't just the Michigan State fans. And almost like right now, I know it's easy for a lot of Michigan fans to say, oh, Buckeye fans and Michigan State fans. Well, around here, yes, a lot of them are having fun with the Connor Stallion stuff. Those jokes are coming from all corners of the college football world, though, Blake. You know that.
Yeah.
Sean, did Michigan duck Nebraska in 97 to honor the sanctity of the Rose Bowl? Would have been cool. I would have loved to have seen it. I don't care what anybody says. As good as that Nebraska team was, the circumstances in which Nebraska passed Michigan were wrong. They were. And if it happened to your team, you would feel the same way. I'm not doing my job.
What were the circumstances?
Michigan was number one in both polls. They went to the Rose Bowl. They knocked off Washington State 21-16. Was it 21-16? Tom Osborne had announced before Nebraska's game that he was going to retire. They pounded somebody, Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. It may have been Peyton Manning's Tennessee, and they kind of gave him a going away present. So one poll had Michigan number one, and somehow, some way, even though Michigan won and held serve in the Rose Bowl against a highly rated Washington State team, they leapfrogged Nebraska over them.
Gotcha.
I think it was a crock of shit.
Jar. Todd, hit the button.
You should forgive me for that because I was sticking up for your dumb team. I remember that one. Do you remember there was a match?
I just like yelling Jar. I don't care.
Yeah, you can always count on James Franklin to F up Penn State hopes. Austin, I'm with you. The Franklin.
I can't wait.
I
can't.
Oh yeah, that was 16. That was the year Penn State was everyone's darling. I still think that was a massive screw up by the committee. I still do. I still think that was a massive screw up.
You think Penn State should have been in?
By their definition, yes. Do I think that Ohio State was a better team? Absolutely. 100%. Okay. But when you're the committee and you tell everybody that you put a premium on the conference championship, and then you don't put a premium on the conference championship, you just bucked up. I said buck. Do you see that? I even emphasized the B. Bucked. At that point in time, I can't listen to anything that comes out of your pie hole anymore. I can't. Now, what I think is inconsequential. I mean, honestly, do I think they got it right with Ohio State? Absolutely. And then, Ohio State went out and proved it, right? I think they got it right with Ohio State. You're supposed to take think out of it, right? Isn't that the issue? Their own words. And I remember do you remember they had the BCS manifesto? It wasn't quite as long as the Connor Stallions manifesto, but do you remember
as detailed?
Yeah, do you remember they had the BCS manifesto? Jason said, I'll pay Sean or swear jar fine on that one. Thank you. And Matt said Washington State was trash. Nebraska beat Peyton Manning. That Tennessee team was pretty trash too. If I'm not mistaken, weren't the Cougs 11-1 going into that? I think they were pretty good that year. Nebraska also had a 5th down game that year. Well, the 5th down was Missouri in 90. Wasn't that the fumble that wasn't a fumble? The Scott Frost play, right? It's just there were a couple. There may have been a couple of 5th downs. There was the Missouri, Colorado, and then that was 5th down in 97 for Nebraska. But there was another 5th down game. I think Colorado, the year that they shared an Natty, had a 5th down against Colorado, if I'm not mistaken, or Colorado had one against Missouri.
I had to remind myself of this Penn State, the 2016 team. Though you're not in if you lose to Pitt,
right? Right.
Like you can't, you lose to Pitt, and then they got absolutely smoked by, who.
Tennessee
Michigan
won the Natty the next year in 98 after Peyton. T. Martin, right? Wasn't that the T. Martin year? The great T. Martin, if I'm not
really
mistaken.
Want Tennessee to be good this year.
Yeah, they
I
were
don't know
fun.
what it is. I want Tennessee to be good though.
And Tim said, and Tim, I get you. I'm having the same conversation as I did back in 2016. Tim said the game against Michigan, 49-10, I think killed Penn State.
And losing to Pitt.
BCS, in their own words, like I pulled it from their dumb website. I underlined it. All things considered equal, the mitigating factor is conference champion. Until it doesn't.
You mean college football playoff, not BCS.
Yeah, college football playoffs. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, BCS.
No, you're
like
good.
literally, they had it in their own words, and it was funny. I was and people were arguing with me. I was like, "This is insane. I am not making this argument. I think Ohio State is better in their own words, not mine." They said, and it was something along the lines of, all things considered equal, the mitigating factor shall be which team won the conference championship. Thank you. Later. Like, and so at that point in time, I was like, okay, I can't, what you say and what you do are two different things. So I'm just not going to pay attention to that. Sean thought that was Colorado that got them a natty. Colorado had a 5th down against Missouri. Blake, fact check me. Colorado had a 5th down against Missouri in 1990. They won half of the national championship. They shared it with Bobby Ross and Georgia Tech.
Yeah, it was 5th. The 5th down game was in 1990 against Missouri.
Yeah, and then Nebraska had one. I think it was also against Missouri. And that was when Scott Frost scored a touchdown, but didn't score a touchdown. And no, it was deflected, right? Wasn't it deflected? He caught a deflected pass or some crappy stuff like that. The Scott Frost catch, help me out. Do fact check me there. Yeah, I think it was against Missouri. He caught like a wacky, zany, deflected pass, and they shouldn't have been there. Yeah, Georgia Tech and Colorado in 90 were co-national champions. And Colorado shouldn't have been there. They, in essence, lost to Missouri that year. Yeah, Dave, that went, and it was also Missouri in 97 against Nebraska. See, I told you. BCS came out of the split national title too from 97. What could have been had Michigan won it all. The 2 years that one sticks out to me, and then I would have loved to have seen Miami and Washington in 91. I'd have loved to have seen that. Those were two damn good teams. I would have loved to see that. And then there were all those rumors. You remember those rumors back in 97? I think this is what Matt was alluding to. Blake, you wouldn't remember this, but there was some rumor that they were going to play in like a cornfield in Iowa and like have it not be an NCAA mandated game. And everyone's going, ooh, how cool would that be? Snowball's chance in hell that was ever going to happen. But wouldn't that have been fun? You know, okay, boys, let's do it. Sean is right. Frost in 97. Thanks. Chris said, how the hell are you recalling games from 90? I'm weird like that. You guys know that. I'm weird like that. To me, that was the golden era of college football. I think college football really took a big step in the early 90s. I really do. Miami and Florida, Desmond and the Pose. I mean, like iconic things happened that, in my humble opinion, made college football go like this. And now, I mean, college football, Blake, you'd agree with me. It's up there with the NFL, right?
Yeah, it's number 2.
I think it's number 2, really. I think it's number 2. All right,
yeah, but there's still some people that are like, I don't like college football. I'm gonna watch the pros. Like they just want nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And I don't understand those people.
Could you imagine what guys from the 90s era could have made from NIL? Deion Sanders?
Even the early 2000s. Tim Tebow.
Oh, gosh.
Reggie Bush.
Dude, I'm telling you, though, like Deion Sanders, Terrell Buckley, and Desmond Howard probably would have made $1 million each, going into that Michigan-Florida State matchup early in the 91 season. There was so much hype about that game. They probably would have made $1 million each. Like, honestly, just that week alone. Like T-Buck on Desmond. Oh, my gosh. That was awesome, So sweet. The ND Florida State game of the century that built it up. That was 93, right, Dave? ND Florida State. That was unbelievable. Unbelievable. I still love Catholics and convicts. I'm sorry. Blake, I wish you could have seen Catholics and convicts. It was
I watched the 30 for 30 on it.
unbelievable. Cleveland Gary got so robbed. I remember watching that game and just going, they're going to let that stand. Go look it up. Just go look it up. All right. Don't get me started. All right. Can we talk about All About Catering before we get out of here?
I would love that.
All About Catering LLC is a full service caterer, graduations, weddings, bridal showers, corporate events, anything you need catering for from 25 to 4,000 people. All About Catering will take care of you. Customer service and satisfaction is their number one goal. So don't sweat your next big event. Just go to allaboutcateringllc.com today to see all their menus and all their 5-star reviews. Give them a call, 586-731-1398. That's 586-731-1398. Get your event started. Have a college football party, whatever the case may be. Rick and the gang will take care of you. Matt said, you guys see Oklahoma State players will have QR codes on their helmets for NIL donations during the game.
Mm-hmm. I don't understand. Like, what am I supposed to pause the TV?
Dude, that's awesome. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's awesome. If some idiot wants, can we get QR codes up here?
Yeah.
Todd, can you get QR? Is there any way you can get QR codes up? If you guys like want to throw shit there, swear jar. If you want to throw shit at us, yeah, we'll have a kid. Look, you can help pay the tip jar right there.
There's a feature on Facebook already that's like it's like stars or something. Like we have it.
I don't know what any of that is.
You know what's free though? Hang on, you just hold on. Stop reading for a second. You know what's free though and helps us tremendously is subscribing on YouTube.
Oh, thank you. That'd
Subscribe
be nice.
to the YouTube channel, Unsyndicated Pod on YouTube, and everything's on there. So that would be helpful.
Tim said, I was one of those Michigan fans who would have loved to have seen Nebraska's offense versus Michigan's defense in 97 or 98. Listen, as a college football fan, I would have loved to have seen that. Oh my gosh, I'm with you. Dave, the U was the best back in the day. Blake, you should have. I can't stress this enough to you. And I know I've said it before. I like told Benny Blades, I said, I know you guys think that you like had some cultural thing. You guys don't have any idea. They didn't have, dude, every kid, they were the bad boys. Sebastian the Ibis come running out in the dry ice. Are you kidding me? It was phenomenal. Doing the tomahawk chop to the Florida State fans after they ripped their heart out again. That was like can't miss television. That was college football to me, you know?
And that was like pre-social media, so it was natural.
Right.
It's beautiful.
Let the listeners pay for the swear jar. Todd said, I could just give you my Venmo. I promise I'll share it with you guys. Promise. Can I just put I'm just going to put my social security up. If you guys want to, do something with it, you feel free,
That's a good idea.
You ever see the program, Sean? Talk about a college football that would never get made today. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Now, I don't know what to expect. So, all right. Anything else, Blake?
We did not talk Lions at all. We should probably do that on Thursday.
All right, we will do that. Oh, by the way, I was born in 88, so I miss and remember the Big East, those nasty Miami teams, Vatek, Mike Vick, just amazing games. Yeah, I remember when Vatek finally beat them in 93. It was like a national holiday because, Beamer had been there for a few years, and they always had good teams, but they just couldn't get, over the top, and they finally beat Miami that year, and it was just like, Yeah, we'll get into the Lions a lot.
Vatek being good and being good again would be fun.
Blacksburg is one of the most unique places. If you get a chance to go to Blacksburg, go there. Honestly, it's very difficult to get to, but pretty unique experience. I really enjoyed that experience. I think Virginia's completely underrated as it is. Well, you guys really are the best. Bad. Enjoy your evening. Thank you, Rieger.
You see that? You better be nice to Rieger. You be nice to that young man.
You be nice to Tim Flynn. You be nice to Matt.
I am nice to both. I'm very nice to Matt. Matt's mean to me. I'm nice to Matt.
Peace out to Eric. Matt said you guys still doing post-game shows late on Saturdays. Yes. Like pretty much every Saturday. Pretty much. I don't think I get home real late from the only real late trip I'll get home from is when we go to Michigan Tech. So that's October 5th. Other than that, as far as I'm concerned, every Saturday.
Then maybe that in that week, maybe we just go early on Sunday before the Lions go.
Yeah, that
Something
sounds
like
cool.
that. We'll figure it out.
Peace out. Thanks to all you guys. Talk to you soon later.
Off the Air with Sean Belegian, featuring Sean Belegian and Blake Matrazak. Produced by Todd Losey and Blake Matrazak. Executive produced by Sean Belegian and Todd Losey. Theme song, incidental music, and related sound effects are from Play It Loud by Jam Studio. Engineering, mixing, and graphic design support provided by the unsyndicated podcast team. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Off the Air with Sean Belegian on all your favorite channels. While you're there, be sure to rate and review the podcast. Got something to say to Sean? Call the unsyndicated hotline at 248-237-3257.